In this session today, dear God. Father, as we proceed along the roadways, dear Lord, you're going to protect each person here, dear Lord. Father God, you're going to guide each person, dear God, and it's going to be a day filled with fun, laughter, and much enjoyment, dear Father. God, protect each person, each child, even onlookers, dear Father. God, continue to have your way in this session. And let your will be done. In your wonderful name we pray. Amen.
Yes, we are on the line here.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, boys and girls. So we are here again. We are here again for our African Day. And we are joining with the pupils and teachers of the Speyside Early Childhood Center. And let me recognize Miss Kathleen Porsche, who is our supervisor down at the Division of Education. The Miss Principal of the Speyside Early Childhood Center, Mrs. Smart, and all the teachers. We also have the principal of the Speyside Anglican Primary School here, and that's Mrs. Best. Mrs. Best, please. We have teachers here from the Speyside High School. The principal, Mr. Peters, is here. Mr. Dave Peters. So that's Mr. Peters there. And we also have teachers and students from the Delaford Anglican Primary School. So this venture is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this all started because one student was inquiring about when are we going to have African Day. Because we celebrate within the school calendar several other days that are related to other ethnic groups within Trinidad and Tobago. Unfortunately, when we have Emancipation Day, school is out, and no one comes to school in August. However, Speyside Early Childhood Center has led the way in us, within this term, celebrating African Day. And that is commendable to the Speyside Early Childhood Center. I also wish to commend teachers from the Speyside High School, Miss Davidson, in particular, who is also a member of the PTA here, or was a member of the PTA here, who helped to make this event mushroom out of the Early Childhood Center, and Mr. Andrews, our history teacher down at the Speyside High School. Now, last year, I told you a story about sharing with Anansi. Now I'm going to be even shorter this year because everybody is ready to go on the street. I'm giving you another Anansi story, but this Anansi story will tell you why the alligator lives in the river. Everybody know the alligators live in the river, right? Yes. Anybody has seen an alligator? Yes. Right, so we have someone. Now, you saw an alligator? Good boy. We're just going on the road? Alright. Now, Anansi and the alligator were very good friends. And one night, Anansi was a little distance from home, and Anansi was tired. So he went and he knocked on the alligator door, and he told the alligator that he wanted to spend the night, he wanted to sleep. Well, Anansi was tired. So they being friends, the alligator said, "Of course, Anansi, you could sleep by me." Then Anansi said to the alligator, "You know what? I don't want to disturb you during the night. So it would be best if you allow me to sleep in the kitchen." And in those days, the kitchen was a separate building from the house. The kitchen was outside of the main house. And some of you may be too young to know that here in Tobago at one time, folks had their kitchens as a separate building from the rest of the house. But of course, the alligator, not thinking anything, he said, Shaw and Nancy, you could sleep in the kitchen if you want. But the alligator's daughter was smart. She thought that maybe Nancy would eat out all their food. So she went in the kitchen before Nancy went to sleep, and she took all the empty pots and she carefully placed scorpions inside all of the empty pots. And then she hid away the pots that were filled with food. At around midnight, when everybody else in the alligator's house was asleep, Nancy got up. But guess what? Nancy is so cunning, he had seen when. So he ignored the empty pots and he opened all the pots with the food and ate all of their food. Closed them back. And when he was finished, Nancy got up by about 5 in the morning and he shouted to the alligator. He said, "Alligator, alligator, I have to leave because I have to go and see about my children for school." And Nancy left. But then the alligator and his daughter went in the kitchen and they checked. When they went and they checked, all their food was gone. And Nancy ate all their food. And so the alligator decided he's going after Nancy because he's angry. And the alligator started running behind Nancy. But Nancy quickly got to a boat, begged the boatman to take him to the other side of the river. And when he got to the other side of the river, he told the boatman, "Wait there, I'm coming back." And he ran home and he told his family, "If the alligator or the boatman comes looking for me, tell them I am not home." And Nancy proceeded to climb up into some trees and he hid there. They realized spiders are always clinging on heights. And lo and behold, the alligator and the boatman did come looking for him. But Nancy was not at home. And the alligator decided that day that he will stay in the river because he's not leaving the river until he gets Mr. Anansi. So anytime you see an alligator in the river, know that the alligator is waiting for Mr. Anansi. And you should not go close to the alligator either. But in our case, the caiman either. Because the caiman will get you. Right? That's why alligators and caimans live in the river, because they are there looking and waiting for Nancy to come back so that Nancy could pay them for the food that he ate out. Alright? So, we are about to go on the African Day Parade down to the high school today. And down at the high school you will see several other booths, and you will see displays of our African heritage. We'll actually walk up to the primary school first. So we'll touch base at the St. John's Anglican Primary School, and then we go down to the high school. Alright? So we want you to be safe. We want you to stay on the safe side of the road. Children, you have to listen to your parents and your teachers and the adults and the police. So we'll walk on the safe side of the road and we will take the trek. Alright? But last year we learned about sharing. This year we learned about not stealing. And so the lesson for this year's African Day is that we must not only share what we have, but we must also not steal from others. That's the moral of the story. We do not steal from others. So are we ready to walk? Yes. Are we ready to walk? Yes. Now I want to invite Miss Kwashe from the Division of Education, Energy and Innovation to say a few words to you, and then Principal Smart will give us our instructions as to where we should go. So let's listen attentively, please. Some of you are looking extremely smart, quite nice in the African blue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Augustine, your dear representative, and good morning to the principal and staff of our neighboring schools. We have the Speyside High School, the Anglican school, we also have the principal coming to us from the Bell Garden Early Childhood Center, along with some of their students and the Port Anglican as well. Let's put our hands together as we commend the neighboring schools for supporting this venture. I am aware that Speyside Early Childhood Center has outgrown this facility and has taken this event to another level. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I must applaud the principal and staff of Speyside Early Childhood Center for embracing this. I think this event is timely because we are living in a world where most of our young people are afraid to embrace their uniqueness. And so, from early childhood, one of our outcomes is that we want our boys and girls, we want to produce citizens who are well adjusted emotionally, physically, spiritually, and also intellectually. And so at Speyside Early Childhood Center, they have embraced this initiative because it is critical for our boys and girls to embrace their uniqueness at this stage. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I do not want to keep you waiting any longer because our boys and girls are all geared up and ready to showcase in the community what they have been learning during this term and to really embrace the fact that they are unique and special. So on behalf of the Division of Education, the Secretary, Mr. Kelvin Charles, our Supervisor, Mrs. Rapid Alexander, we bring you greetings and want to wish you all the best as you embrace this initiative. May we all have a blessed day and we wish you all the success. Thank you very much.
Now I want to officially declare African Day 2018 open. So let's put our hands together. Preschoolers will be first, followed by the Speyside Anglican, followed by Delaford Anglican, followed by the high school, and other members of the community. Well, Belgrade Early Childhood will also, or the outsides of Belgrade Early Childhood will follow those of Speyside Early Childhood. So let me go again. Speyside Early Childhood. All the children of Speyside Early Childhood Center, let me see your hands. Alright, so Speyside Early Childhood, please follow your teachers. After Speyside Early Childhood will be followed by Belgarden Early Childhood, then Speyside Anglican, then Delaford Anglican, then Speyside High, and then the others.
What people try to call me, I have to decline. guys too long there, something. Well, look, I just still time when they come back down.
AJ, oh. Money.
But not this pussy. This they use it to make tea. Yeah.
Chandelier bush.
Welcome you. Mr. Andrews from the Speyside High School and Auntie Janine from the Early Childhood Center invited us to be a part of this African Day parade today. We humbly accepted, and so we have a little display. The support was overwhelming, and I hope you appreciate what we have done. Feel free to witness our display, but please be careful. Those two lamps at the back, don't touch them so they could fall and break.
I'm not looking nice. I'm watching all the fun at this stand.
Bush, that trumpet bush.
That is green.
That is that. That is green.
Yeah, that's green.
That is this. That trumpet bush.
Yeah,
The green one.
Yeah, the green one.
Buffalo. Yeah, when it dry, that's okay. Scrubbing board. We have cassava bread. Let's see the cassava bread. Made by yours truly. Nice place. Made by yours truly. So we can make cassava bread from planting made by yours truly. All remember this?
Cozy.
Make sure you get me with the pose here.
Yeah, cozy.
It's not a pose, it is a tinsel. Tinsel pose is the plastic one there, the big plastic one there. It's a tinsel, yeah, in a chamber pot.
When you set up in a flake,
So we're looking at the way we lived
I took all these pictures when they
at Speyside Anglican Primary School. We would have done a display of showing the way we lived in terms of the utensils we use, how we cooked.
you don't see me.
funeral. I took all these pictures for a funeral.
Baking for a week.
Wait, yeah, you know.
Looking for a week and I see the principal of the school there.
Yeah, together with Miss and Mistress Best took them out.
Seeing the gas lamp and the pitch oil lamp.
Cassava bakes. When you go cassava bakes, you go to
Oil lamp separate from the gas lamp. Of course, the mill used to grind and stuff. And the chamber pot utensil, yes, used for urinating during the night.
And you have the points already?
Yeah. And then of course the cold pot and iron. This is how close with iron.
You ever use this?
Nope, never.
You use them there. Ingredients that you use them there.
Right?
You actually don't know about that.
Yeah. We have a rusty one home.
And they are weird.
Yeah. Usually coconut fiber to strain stuff. Right? To strain coconut juice. There's the iron for the cold pot. And they used to do patchwork sheet. Whatever pieces of cloth you have remaining, you patch them together to make a patchwork sheet. Nothing was wasted. The mortar, the pestle. And of course, nothing beats bush medicine. Maybe this is something we could monetize. Bush medicine. From your wonderful words, your candle bush, your fever grass and aloe, your bay leaf, your rachet, your bocano, your trumpet bush. And then you even had your cotton and your ruku. Your turmeric as we say, but it's turmeric, stamp fern. Your physic nuts, your Christmas bush, crapo bush, the chandelier bush, and it's called chandelier bush because it has these bulbs at the top of the plant. And then you have your manpiaba and black sage. And the procession is making its way down now towards the high school. Remember, we have Speyside Early Childhood Center, whose initiative this is. But we also have the Speyside Anglican School, the Delaford Anglican Bell Garden Early Childhood Center has joined us. And of course Speyside High School among people from the community. Quite a number of folks are here in the procession. Anglican has a lot of passion fruit going. It's a school with a strong agricultural science component. Just noting the passion fruit vines all along the fencing.
Speyside, Speyside, East and Speyside. So the procession now heads to the I'll miss it just now. So my office staff members there watching on. Passing by Mr. Smokey.
I always see you on from the Anomics family. Big up Prince. That's where you go.
Mr. Division of Education. Don't care where you come from as long as you're African. As long as you're a black man, you're an African. And of course, pictures of Winston Duke, who was in the same Black Panther.
I know many times I've done things that bring water to your What you do? Lord, I say for your love I'm grateful. Yes, you love me plenty, you came to die for me. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nissi, I am that I am. Ooh, I search around, there's no one else like you. Lion of Judah, you're the man. God has given me victory. God has given me victory. God has given me victory. He has given me victory. Hallelujah.
So we have some displays again down at Speyside High School showing the way we lived, especially in post-emancipation days, and how we took simple elements, simple things. Nice looking board here. We took simple things, and of course we sold in Trinidad and Tobago. We took simple elements, and this speaks to peasantry and peasant life that occurred in Tobago immediately post-emancipation, as the African enslaved moved from the plantations. Peasant life developed, and so folks had to take the best of what they had, take whatever they had and create support of it. They said this is a shovel used for shoveling cocoa, and it's on loan from the Tobago Museum. And we have trade picture, and this is an 80-year-old portrait. It's 8 years old. Of course, it fetch room, and the beauty about the African enslaved is that somehow we had what we call creative genius, the ability to take nothing and make something and plenty out of it. Slavery itself was a horrible experience, but we have done a lot with it. This part of the exhibit shows again how the early African peasants, how they lived post-emancipation. So this is a dining set, more or less. Some folks might remember seeing this in their grandparents' home or great-grandparents' home. And then we have African sculptures. These are all on loan from the museum. Again, look here again. Remember, in the days immediately post-emancipation, peasantry took over, and this is how the young peasants did it. This is a closed basket. And these things were woven intricately by hand. There's even a sewing machine showing how our seamstress and our women, how they sew that and so on. It's a chair. And this we have galvanized oven. And this is from around 1960, locally made by Tinsley. So this you could either be placed on a stove or coal pot. And of course, who doesn't know the grip? And recently we have been seeing the arguments in the UK about the Windrush generation. That's the generation of Caribbean people who went to the United Kingdom to rebuild England after the World War. And the grip is more or less what they took their clothes in. And this is a hand sewing machine. This is a signal lamp. And this is a corn mill. Used for grinding the corn mill. And we saw this at the primary school again, but here it is again. The coal pot and iron. And this is how we iron clothes, believe it or not. Fully pressed and starched. And again, these were the days. This was how we live post-emancipation. Other local artifacts. And look, they closed chests. And people had these chests. We didn't have chests of drawers, but we had chests that were used to store our clothes. Right after slavery ended, as I indicated before, peasant lifestyle replaced plantation lifestyle. These are some of the household implements that were used. Here is a pitch oil stove. So the stove operated with pitch oil. Seeing some sweet broom inside here. And the iron comb that used to press out the ladies here. Now we are all embracing our Africanness and African hair, so we're no longer pressing out our hair. Steam iron. Look at how the steam iron was. These days it's electric and far less cumbersome than this. Mortar and pestle again. Trays. And this bowl is made with calabash. More basket weaving, and the women in those days would weave intricate patterns into the basket.
You're telling me that?
Intricate patterns into the basket and weave them, and that will include all of these intricate designs. So this is creative genius. Enameled pot. This is a candle stand. I guess again wooden tray, the joking board. More straw mats. And we even have some books, types of books that were used in our education system in those days. And of course we have the rocking chair.
Inside.
Morning. Right, and then we see we can have an African day without the eats, and there is starch and some chip there. And then we have, so you see the root of our local confectionaries there really was born out of peasant lifestyle. So we have pictures on the made actual Benny seeds as opposed to sesame seeds. We have corn. Of course, you have the end piece and the tone there, which is the best part of the tone. And then we also have leather craft here on display. And again, these are things done by students. So students would have led the way in all of this work. So you have the belts, the bags, and the slippers, leather craft, of course. And then we have tie-dye, we have a taffy, one of our 6th form students here. who is one of our art and design students. And so before the Africans came to the West Indies, to the Caribbean as slaves, Africans knew how to dye cloth into a variety of colors. And that in itself was a skill not yet known by Europeans. So we came to the West, we came to the Caribbean with these skills. These weren't taught to us, we brought these to the Caribbean because Africans were dyeing cloths and spinning gold into thin thread long before we got to this side of the Atlantic. And these are all on display here at Speyside High School, where the procession has come to an end and where there will be a short formal ceremony. So wherever you are, if you're in the area, just pass by and touch base with us. Wherever you are, pass by and touch base with us. And just join us at the high school.
We are about to commence our morning program.
We're going to have a morning program, we have a packed hall.
Member of the Minority Council and area representative, Assemblyman Mr. Farley Augustine, manager of the Speyside Early Childhood Center, let me repeat that. Manager of the Early Childhood Center and Education in the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy, Ms. Kathleen Quashi. Acting Principal of Speyside High School, Mr. Dale Peters. The Principal of the Speyside St. John's Primary School, Mrs. Louisa Bess Hercules, the Principal and Head Teacher of the Speyside Early Childhood Center, Ms. Janine Kerr Smart, teachers of the Delaford AC School, teachers of the Delgado Early Childhood Center, other teachers, parents, and members of the protective service.
If you look into the background, you will actually see a painting of a mural of
the media,
Winston Duke. That was done by students here at Speyside High School.
Other visitors and students, pleasant morning. As they say in Ghana, Akwaba, and among the Yoruba in Nigeria, Kabu. Students, repeat after me. Say Akwaba. Akwaba. Kabu. Kabu. Pleasant morning. Now, Africa Day, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is celebrated all over the world by people with African roots or connections. Those that live on the continent of Africa, boys and girls, and if you look to the back, you will see a picture of Africa. The continent of Africa, the land of the lions, the giraffes, the hippos, the rhinoceros that you see on TV. And it is also celebrated by other people that live outside of Africa, like us here in Tobago. For the benefit of the students, those persons of African parentage or heritage, for what is called a diaspora. Repeat after me, the diaspora. Diaspora. And you form the diaspora. The celebration recognizes the freedom of communities in Africa African togetherness, unity and sharing, just like you share in school, and just like all of us were together when we march on the streets to get here. Some of you have witnessed the wonderful presentations put on by the preschool and the primary school students and teachers. Added to that, I'm sure that some of you, or most of you to some extent, felt the pulse of Africa as you were marching your African garb, marching in the streets to Bujubantans, Africans with African pride. Here at Speyside High this morning, we want you to continue to feel a pulse in your very being. So on the program today, we have dramology, storytelling, dances, a short discourse by the member of the American community, hopefully the sound of Sweet Pan, and a special short film for you, the children. But adults do not view too. There will also be African-based cuisine on display. And as you would have noticed as you came inside,
so
under the tent,
those who have been following on the live will be exiting shortly. But
museum artifacts, things that our foreparents used yesterday. You'll get to learn about those stuff. You'll see the leather craft and the batik
American community
and tie-dye under the lanterns. So please
akin to
partake of what is on offer.
Here in Trinidad and Tobago.
To enjoy
we also will have authentic African dancing, African music, the drumming, and
ladies and gentlemen,
and entertainment being mixed into one. We'll have storytelling.
At this time,
all here at Speyside High School happening at different junctures during the day. So thank you for joining us on the live.
Cultural item.
And perhaps we'll take in one cultural item before we make an exit.
Alright, and I made a small mistake. My stage manager is signaling to me that we did not open the program with a word of prayer and invite God's presence. My deepest apologies. God first in everything. Right, boys and girls?
So we make our exit at this time.
So at this time, we welcome Pastor Johnson.
Thank you very much as we make our exit. Feel free to join us in person.